Hello everybody. Welcome to another episode of Easy Cooking with Gabby. So today what I'm going to make is chicken enchiladas. These are not typical chicken enchiladas. These are kind of chicken enchiladas my way, what I'm going to do. So what I do is I make my own enchilada sauce and I go buy bulk. We have a little Mexican store down here in Jacksonville. And I use the chili pasilla and then the guajillo. So I have about, in my little saucepan here, I have about, let me see here, about, six of those, 6 of the pasilla, and then 2, 4, 6, 8 of the guajillo. And then I got a large white onion. Let me grab a knife. And I'm going to put about maybe this much of a chunk of the onion in my pot. Just like that. And then I'm going to put water on this and I'm going to put it on my stove and I'm going to bring it to a boil, let it simmer for probably about 10 minutes until my chili pods are soft. And then I'm going to blend it all up with some tomatillos. And these are canned tomatillos. Now, you can use tomatillos from the produce department. Now, they come in a green skin. They're a little bit sticky, and you do need to parboil them in water if you're going to use them like this. The canned ones already are perfect that way. And I'm going to use a can of Rotel with green chilies in it. And I am going to use some jalapeno sauce, which is like a tomato, it's a spicy tomato sauce. And that's going to be my sauce. And I'm also going to put, listen, your kitchen needs to have basic items. Some of the basic items that I have is I always have lemon juice. I always have vinegar, white vinegar, apple cider vinegar. I always have tomato bouillon, chicken bouillon, beef bouillon, ranch powder, taco seasoning, garlic, things like that. Those are things that you buy in, big containers, and then you have them. You can make, I don't even know how many recipes I've made with this, but it's almost gone. As you can see, I have just enough in the bottom of that to make my recipe for today. And then those are staples that you just want to have, because I like to just look in my cupboard and be like, what do I feel like making tonight? What do I have? I was like, I have some corn tortillas. I have some chicken. Let me throw together some enchiladas. So that's what we're going to do tonight. And I'm going to get this on, and this is going to simmer for 10 minutes, and then I'll come back and I'll show you the rest of the process with that. So while my peppers are cooking on the stove, I'm going to dice up the rest of this onion. I need to figure out how to put y'all so you can see everything, and I'm not sure yet how to do that. So I feel like if I elevate you a little bit. There you go. And I'm just going to do a dice on this. Got a little bad spot in there, so I'm getting that out. And it don't got to be a perfect dice. You're just dicing it small enough that it don't take forever to cook. Because this is going to get mixed in with our chicken. So I'm just going to pop it right in this bowl. And if you don't like onions, don't put them in. Leave them out. Maybe you like something else in it instead. Maybe, oh, that one went overboard. Maybe you like jalapenos. You could dice up a jalapeno and throw in here. That would be fabulous. I like to experiment. I like to take things that I know taste good, and then I like to see, do they taste good together? And if it's something that I have made before, I gotta rinse this off real quick. I'll be right back. And I use the stems too because they got flavor in it. And then I'm just going to give it a rough chop. And most of this is going to go in inside my enchiladas, and some of it I will save for the top. But most of it's going inside. And that's my chicken. I have frozen chicken pieces. They're bites. If I would have some grilled chicken or something, I would use that too. Any kind of chicken. If you buy a rotisserie chicken, strip it, and you could use rotisserie meat in here too. It would be really good. And then into this, I'm going to add some rice with red beans. I also made today a little watermelon agua fresca. It's watermelon pineapple. And I put sweetened condensed milk in it. And actually it's coconut sweetened condensed cream. And then I took water, mixed that all together, and it is really good. And I love stuff like that. So this is what my chicken looks like, just little chicken bits like this. They were frozen. I just thawed them a little bit so that I could cut through them. Then I'm just going to give these a rough chop. No specific way to do it. Just small enough that you can wrap them up in a tortilla. And then I'm going to add my beans and my rice to it. And then I have some my absolute favorite cheese, Chihuahua. It's oh, I thought it was a mixed cheese, but I could be wrong. This is, I wonder what kind of cheese it is. Well, it doesn't tell you, but it is good melty cheese. That's all I know. And I like the big bag because I go through a lot of that because I like to make birria tacos and, oh good. I just cook all kinds of stuff. So whatever fancies me that day, that's what we get. And a lot of times you got to throw cheese in it. Like, you know, whenever you make, well, pretty much anything. Anything you want cheese for it, that's a good melty cheese. And it's pre-shredded too, so that's nice too. And it doesn't stick or, I mean, it doesn't clump together or anything. In fact, I will even make, instead of using a tortilla shell for my tortillas, for me personally, because I'm trying to do low carb, you know, I actually turn that into a tortilla. And I just put it, I get my pan. My husband bought me, for our anniversary a couple years ago, the, Chef Ramsay's pans. Can't think of the name of them right now, but he bought me a set of those. And they're great pans. I love them to death. So I put the heat on there, get it hot, and then I take the cheese and spread it in the bottom. I let it get real toasty, and then I flip it over, and then whatever I'm making tortillas for everyone else, I just put in that, roll it up, and make it like a little taquito. But it's cheese on the outside and meat, and usually meat on the inside. And let me tell you, it's so good. And I don't know about you, but I love toasted cheese. Any kind of toasted cheese is so good. So I got my chicken in there with my cilantro and my onions. Oh, excuse me, I got the hiccups now. I drank that too fast. Gonna add the rice, and I have a piece of cream cheese that is left over from, I don't know, something else I did. I can't remember what, but boop, that's gonna go in there. And let me wash my hands quick. And then I'm gonna put about, I don't know, I don't really measure much, but I'm gonna say a good sized handful. I would say that's at least a cup. And I might go a cup and a half. Cup and a quarter. How about a cup and a quarter? And then I'm gonna grab a spoon and I'm gonna mix that together. And then I'll be right back. Okay, so I have my innards all mixed and my shells here, my peppers, they've been going for about at least 10 minutes, maybe a little longer, but everything feels soft to the touch of my tongs. So now I'm going to take it and put my onion, and I don't know, I think I will have enough to do it all at once. Get it all into your blender cup or your blender or your whatever you're using to blend your peppers. Add that juice. I need a spoon because we're going to add that bouillon, which that's about a tablespoon of bouillon, tomato bouillon. Then I'm going to add about a tablespoon of flour, maybe two, maybe 1 1/2. And then I need, oh, there it is. I need this thing, and I'm going to add a little water to fill it up to the fill line. And then if you have one of these, sometimes I strain it, sometimes I don't, just depends. I'm going to pop it in here, power, and I'm going to pause while I blend. Okay, and then I got that blended, and now I'm going to add my tomatillos, which come in this juice. And I will use this juice if I need to thin out my sauce. I'll add a little to that. But I have also my tomatoes that I'm going to put in here too, which I'm going to put in there now. And that's what the tomatillos look like. They're so cute. And then I'm going to save this juice just in case I need it. I'm going to open this. And then just pop this right into this. Give it a little squish down. Get it all in there. I might have too much in there at once, but we'll see. Yeah, I got too much. Okay, so what I'm going to do, this is why cooking is a learning. Oh, there's a cup right there. So I'm going to take my cup. We'll just have to do this in 2 batches, which is fine. Get a bigger blender, then you won't have to do that, but then we're going to blend. And when it blends up, this is what it looks like. You get this beautiful sauce, and I'm going to add it to the red sauce that I made. No chunks, no nothing. Then we're going to go ahead and add this one. And I'm going to put a little bit of this in there, not a whole lot. And it's just spicy tomato sauce, all it is. That's about half a can. And then I'll just save that and use that for something else. All right, and then I'm gonna blend this. Okay, it is all done. I'm just gonna check it for salt, because that tomato bouillon is salty, so you don't wanna add salt to it. I try not to add salt to my food. I like to let people salt the food on their own. I told you before, I used to have a problem with salt, a severe one. And that is just about perfect. I think I'm going to add some paprika to that. And I think it'll be good. And then I'm just going to add about maybe a teaspoon or so. Looks good. Let me give it a little stir. And this is a beautiful, beautiful red color. Look at how pretty that is. And tastes, oops, and don't get it on you, because this will stain everything. So definitely don't wear white if you're going to make this sauce. All right. Now that we have that part done, this part's done, and that part's done. Now I'm going to clean off some of this stuff, because I'm going to take and do a light fry on these corn tortillas. And I'm probably going to do about 12. I'll start with 12. And if it's, I'm going to just do 12, because that's plenty, because there's only me and my youngest here right now. So if there's any extra, I'll just freeze it, and then I can use it at a later time. But when you freeze stuff, make sure that you label it and date it, because let me tell you, you do not even know how many times I've gone to my freezer and thought, oh, you know, I'll know what that is. And I pull out the bag and I'm like, what is this? And nobody has any idea. And then you thaw it out and you're like, oh, surprise, it's bean soup or, you know, whatever. But yeah, label it good. That way you know what's in there. I've tried to do that more now that I'm older. I guess I'm more responsible. So that's what they tell me. Who knows? All right, I'll be back. Okay, so we got our sauce, we got our filling, and now I got my pan here heating up for my corn tortillas. And what I'm going to do is just give them a soft fry, basically. You just put them in, toast them a little tiny bit. You're not going to fry them hard. And then I'm going to put them on a paper towel, so that'll help drain the excess grease off of it. And then I will bring them over, and I have my pan that I'm going to roll them up and stick them in. And then I'm going to put a little cheese on top, pop them in the oven at 350 for probably 35 minutes, or until they look, you know, good and cheesy and oozy and goozy and all that good stuff. And then I'll pull them out and I'll show you the finished product. Okay? Okay, so I have them all fried. And this is what I mean by like a soft fry. Like, it's just pliable now. You're not frying them till they're crispy. You just want to be able to fold them, mold them, and bend them around a bit. So now you're going to take some of your sauce. I'm going to get a little ladle. sprinkle some in the bottom of my dish. And while I'm doing this part, I'm going to also turn my oven on so that I can preheat. And that takes a while to preheat, so, and then that's going to get set aside. And then I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how I'm going to wrap these. And all I'm going to do is, because I have the cheese and everything already in this mix with the chicken, the onions, the beans, the rice, the cilantro, I did put some chicken bouillon in there as well. Probably about 2 tablespoons full. Then you're going to roll them. And this seam, you're going to place flat down into your pan. And then you're just going to go to the next one. And then you're going to keep doing this until you have them all used up. Now, I said I was going to make 12, but my bag only had 14 left in it. So I'm going to do 14 because I'm not going to leave just 2 because, you know, although I probably could have made some chorizo and Natalie would have liked that. So, and then I just layer them in the paper towels to get all that excess grease because, I mean, you don't want a lot of grease in your food either, but. And then you're just going to do about 2 or 3 tablespoons. You don't want them over full, but you don't want them to not have enough in it either because you want to be able to get full on just a couple of them. And then just keep repeating the process. And it's hot here in Texas today, so I don't know why I decided to make something that I needed the oven for, but here we are. Sounded like it was raining, but it ain't. So, a little bit of background about why I love cooking is because I think I fell in love with cooking just because I'm a people pleaser. I like to make people happy. So, and when you cook food that is good and people like it, you know, nobody goes away mad when you've had a good meal, you know. So I think that's why. My grandmother was a really good cook. And my mom, she was not that good of a cook, but I mean, she did the best with what she could. But my husband is a lot of stuff that I've learned, because I met my husband when I was very young. A lot of stuff that I learned because of him, because of, you know, how to make venison and stuff like that. Like when I met him, I said, oh no, I don't like venison. I'll never eat venison. And he said, well, how have you had it? And I was like, oh, I've had it this way, that way, baked, you know, fried. And I just didn't like it. And he said, well, you probably haven't had it cooked right. And I was thinking, how can you really mess up fried meat? But apparently you can, because he cooked it for me and I was shocked at how good it was. And so from then on, he taught me things like, you know, when you make spaghetti or goulash, not to use stuff out of the jars. You know, you make your own sauce. And I didn't know that. I had only ever known jarred sauce. So not that it was bad or anything, but when you make a sauce homemade, it's 100 times better. So, And sometimes the thing about home cooking is we make it more complicated than it really needs to be. And I think I'm only going to have enough room in here for 11. Or maybe I counted my tortillas wrong. We shall see. We shall see. So let's see how many I made. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, I did count them wrong. I thought I had 14 and I have 15. But that is okay, because I will fry those and I'll make some chorizo in the morning. And that's all I have. Actually, you know what? This recipe would have been perfect for the 15, because if I had a bigger pan, those 3 would have been filled with this stuffing. But seems how I don't. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the sauce, and then you're just going to ladle it over the top. And you just want to make sure everything gets covered, because these tortillas will also soak up this juice. So you don't want them dry. You want them nice and juicy. They're really good. And then I'm going to throw them in the oven. And like I said, we'll bake them for 30, 40 minutes till they look like they're good and done. And then I'm going to take that cheese, this one, the Chihuahua cheese. I'm going to put a layer of that on there. And then I'm just going to use the rest of it because there ain't much left in there. So no point in sticking that back in the fridge. And then I'm going to pop it in the oven. And then when I come back, we'll have a finished product and you'll get to see what it looks like when I pull it out of the pan. And this is what it looks like coming out of the oven. And now I'm going to get a piece out. And I put my little bit of cilantro on top. Now, let me... smells really good. It's hot. But it tastes really good. The cheese toasted up really nice on top of it. It's not dry at all. It's very moist, and it has that good my fine china. Lord knows I don't want to wash a plate. Lucky I ain't eating off of plastic forks either. But really good. We'll get Natalie to taste it. But I really think this is a win. And you know what I say, a win's a win. So if you make it, I hope you enjoy it. It's a real easy recipe. Say here, avocado, you could make some guacamole, do sliced avocado, sour cream. You could make a whole side to go with it. You could make, make some veggies or some corn, some fried cabbage. I mean, the list could go on. I mean, you could go endless with this. But this is really a meal in itself. I mean, it has everything in there. It has beans, rice, meat, cheese, and then you have the tortilla. So if you make it, I hope you enjoy it. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.